sulfur. The purposes of this experiment is 1. To study several modifications of sulfur. 2. To study characteristics of hydrogen sulfide and sulfuric acid. The working procedure of this experiment is: for modification sulfur, method 1. First, blending 0.5 grams of sulfur in evaporation cup by heating the sulfur until it melts and freezes. Observe crystal strip. Method 2. Heated 0.5 grams of sulfur powder in the test tube while shaking the test tube. Observe the sulfur color change. The characteristic of sulfuric acid. First, add a piece of copper in a test tube containing 1 ml sulfuric acid. Observe the activity in the test tube. Write the reaction equation. Place the filter paper moistened with potassium chromate solution in the mouth of test tube. Observe the color change in the filter paper. Write the reaction equation. The sulfur modification experiment, there were two different treatments, namely heating the sulfur in a preparation dish and in a test tube. When sulfur is heated in a preparation dish using a hot plate, the color changes from yellow to red and the sulfur melts. After being allowed to stand for a few minutes, the sulfur solidifies and crystallines form. Then heat the sulfur in a test tube. When sulfur is heated in a test tube using a hot plate, after 5 minutes, the sulfur melts and the color changes from yellow to deep red. This is because there is an effect of heating speed, where if the temperature is increased, the color of the sulfur will be darker. Sulfuric acid characteristic. In the sulfuric acid characteristic experiment, the first thing to do is heat a pieces of copper in a test tube containing 1 ml sulfuric acid. When heating takes place, bubbles are formed. Then after the heating process is stopped, the color changes from clear to brownish yellow. Next is to put filter paper moistened with potassium chromate solution at the mouth of the test tube in the first experiment. Then heat it. When heated, slowly the yellow color on the filter paper disappears and turns white. Then the next step is to put sucrose into a test tube and 10 drops of concentrate sulfuric acid, then heat it using Bunsen heating. When heated, the color changes to black. And the last step is to put 2 ml of acetic acid into the tube. Then add 2 ml of ethanol and 2 ml of concentrate sulfuric acid. Heat the test tube using a Bunsen burner. During the heating process, the heated solution causes bubbles to form and smells like an inflatable balloon. Based on the experiment that have been carried out, it can be concluded the modification of sulfur can be seen from change in the structure of the sulfur itself, which is marked by a change in color and the formation of crystal lines. As for the experiment characteristic of sulfuric acid, it can be concluded that sulfuric acid has the property of being an oxidizing agent, with the colon an oxidizing agent.